Yeah, 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 yeah. It's your girl, Dre the Cole. Are y'all ready? Had to do it, world. Let's go, let's go, let's get it, let's go. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Dre and Nicole. Had to do a podcast. And you know, I always say we had to do it. Just had to do it. So thank you for coming and joining with me again this week. This should be your favorite place to be if you're not out and about. And if you're at home, this should be your favorite place to be every Friday between 9 and 10. Hanging out with me, just shooting the shit, doing what we do. Tonight, you know, it was going to be an in studio thing, but the weather here is so bad tonight. I didn't want to do that to my guests, so we're going to be streaming. Um, Shout out. So last week, I know I said that I was chilling out this week and that I didn't have no shows or anything like that. But yesterday, I ended up doing a show, and it was so dope. It was called The Revival. It was with Des Lenore. I'm gonna get her on the show. She put it together. She is an artist that I had met at Kai's and Cole's out here in Marietta. And it was her first show. She was in Florida, I believe, when she came and did that show. And now she moves to Atlanta. So she asked me to be a part of her event. And I went, and it was awesome. I was able to take my son with me. It was like a food court kind of. They had a bar, then they had like a waffle ice cream bar thing. Then they had pizza. They had a cheesesteak spot. Very dope vibey spot. Like you could pick a corner and take some pictures and stuff. And it was a really big vibe last night. So thank you, Des Lenore, for having me at your event. We're gonna put some more things together. And you never know, you might have like a Dre and Nicole evening, an evening with Dre and Nicole through her events. And I see our guest has arrived. Hey girl, hey.
Hi.
Can you hear
How are you?
me? Hey. Good to see you. Good to see you. I was just
Yeah,
running down some
we
things.
might have a delay.
Okay, got it. Got it. But I was just running down some things, some events, some things that happened during this week, and then we're gonna get into what you got going on. So yeah, so that was yesterday with Des Lenore. Like I said, we're gonna be putting some more things together. So definitely look out for that. Um, Also, I am in a play called Left Me Standing at the Altar we're gonna be at Uptown Comedy on September 8th. Um, that's gonna be fun, a vibe. I got ticket links. I'm gonna put links on all my social media. All I've had to do with social media. Get your tickets, come out, support, have a good time. It's definitely a vibe. I play the bride's mother, so is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Shout out to Schaefer Harrington. He is the writer and the director of the play, and I did it last year. I was in the play last year, and he asked me to come back again this year, which is so dope. So I really appreciate that. So shout out Schaefer and the whole cast and crew of Left Me Standing at the Altar. So now I know y'all see this beautiful lady that popped up on your screen, Miss Tara Williams. She is a newfound friend. You know, she came to a couple of my events with our girlfriend to the show, Miss Gabina, and I fell in love with her, and I was just like, "What do you do?" And she started running down everything that she do, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta have you on the show!" Like, this is a no brainer. She does some awesome things in the community. I like what she stands for. Reading over her bio, it's like you just never know who you're gonna meet where, and I love that about life because you just never know. You just have to be in the same place at the same time. And people are so unassuming these days. Like nobody walks in unless, they got a chip on their shoulder. Nobody walks in like, puffing their chest or whatever. But you just talk to people, you find out some amazing things. And I found out some amazing things about her. We both are boy moms, three sons each. So we definitely bonded over that. She is an 11-time published author, a former radio personality and producer, a leadership coach, producer of a line of 12 planners for more accountability. Sometimes you need those planners to keep you on track. I ain't even gonna hold you because I got one. I got one. And I got a budget book. Like sometimes I just need to write it out. Um, she's also a community leader, hosting a monthly gathering called Tea Time with Tara, which allows open conversation on various topics with no judgment. No judgment. I love that. She's been in business with Stalk Your Destiny since 2015. She's been hosting community events since 2016. She published her first novel in 2011. Y'all, like, she's just been she's just been doing her big one for a while now. She became a mother in 2011, and now she's a mother of three sons. Like I said, yes, yes, yes. Boy, moms unite. She's been diagnosed with ADD, OCD, and dissociation and dyslexia. Fun fact, I was diagnosed with dyslexia when I was younger, but I think because like I was writing things backwards, but I think because my mom thought that I was right-handed, but I was really left-handed, and she was trying to make me write with my right hand,
Oh,
and I couldn't get it together, and I was writing things backwards and going crazy. But once I switched to my left hand, things got right. so, so I don't know if I was properly diagnosed, but they sure enough told me I had dyslexia. Um, and through her childhood traumas and things that she has to come across, she chose to share her story and help the world with it. And that's what you have to do, because people think that they're by themselves when they go through certain things, and they're not by themselves. And some people, they just so scared to talk about the things that they go through. And so if you talk about it, then you'll realize other people are there with you. They may have some tips and tricks to help you get over whatever, and vice versa. That's why I like music, because I use my music to as therapy, to get over certain things and to get around things. And when I put my music out there, I find so many people relate to it. And when they relate to it, they like, yeah, I went through that. I've seen that. Your music helped me get through things. So I like when people talk about their adversities in life, because you really are helping someone else when you speak about it. So Miss Tara, how you doing? I see we lost you
hi.
for a second. I just kept rambling until you popped back up.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Having technical difficulties over here. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad you made it onto the show. Next time we're going to do it in person, but tonight would have
Okay.
just been too crazy um
Yeah.
at the stadium, and now the weather is like thunderstorming or whatever over there. So,
Okay.
yeah, it would have been crazy tonight. But
Well,
so
thank you for having me.
you are absolutely welcome. I went over the bio. Let me know if I missed anything. But let the people know who you are, know what you about, and we're gonna get into some of these things that I see here that I want to ask questions about.
Okay. Well, I mean, you said it a lot in the bio. I think the thing maybe that's not in the bio is that as a coach, I help people navigate mental health, overcome obstacles, and then I advocate for men and children. And I
Mm,
do that because there are so many women empowerment events and support groups and things like that. And the men are on the rise now supporting each other. And June is men's mental health awareness month. Um, and so even with that, it's just not a lot of black women publicly supporting black men or men, at large. There's this push and pull. What is it called? Battle of the sexes,
yeah.
generally that takes place. And so I advocate for men because in order for men and women to come together more, we got to be able to hear each other and at least lean to an understanding with one another. And women can't do that just listening to women. So I
Mm,
also help with what's it called, mediation and communication with marriages and relationships. And that's a part of it because a lot of things get lost in translation, and we as women receive the information that men are saying differently than what they mean by it. And so by coaching
right.
couples, I just help them to get on the same accord because for some reason, I can understand what men are saying and trying to communicate, and I can just ask, is this what you're saying? And then relate it, to the woman so that we can close that communication gap and that barrier.
Dope, dope. And I do agree there is a very high lack of support for men in general.
Yeah.
And I see why a lot of them feel like they have nowhere to go, no one to talk to. They generally like talk to their homeboys with maybe just as jacked up as they
Yeah.
are. you know, so that's dope. And coming from a woman to throw support out there for men is amazing because one thing I have been hearing, even though I don't agree with everything that is said, like on social media with this black men against black women, and
Yeah.
I have issues with certain things, but through what they're saying and through what I got issues with, I do hear that they don't feel like they're heard
Yeah.
by black women or
Yeah.
women in general. So I do get that.
Yeah. And some of it, we gonna be honest here. Some of it is because they are toxic. It's
Right.
not just because we don't understand or we're not translating properly. That's a big part of it. But then the other part of it is that your communication style is toxic and your motive behind it is toxic. So
Right.
it's not always going to be well received because of the delivery. And the same thing for women. When we
Right.
communicate, it's not always well received because of our delivery.
Right. Right. I always take it back to the Cosby Show, right? When Vanessa brought Dabnus Bricky as her fiance to the thing, and the way that Bill Cosby broke it down, that just stuck with me my whole life. I was a kid when I first saw
Yeah.
that episode. But when I tell you that stuck with me my whole life, he was like, he said, "What's your favorite food?" And Dabness was like, "I like a good steak." He was like, "All right, so you like steak, you like mushrooms, you like the sauteed onions and all that." And Dabness like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna put some mashed potatoes and some broccoli on there." And Dabness like, "Yeah." He said, "All right, so we're gonna have the steak, we're gonna have the mushrooms, we're gonna have the onions and the mashed potatoes, and I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna get the
And I'm
garbage
gonna put it
can
on the
lid.
trash can.
And then I'm gonna put the steak, the potatoes, the mushrooms, everything on this garbage can lid, and I'm gonna give it to you." And Dabness was looking like, he was like, "That's not so appealing, is it?" He's like, "No." He was like, "Well, that's how Vanessa brought you over here. She brought you on a
Yep.
garbage can lid. You
Yep.
could be the greatest thing in the world, but your delivery
Yeah.
is means a whole lot."
Yeah.
Definitely means a whole lot. And that scenario just stuck with me my whole life. Like I
And that is
even
my number one favorite show.
yeah, and like
Have the
when I
entire
think about
season.
things, I think about, okay, how am I delivering this? How am I giving this information? Because people misunderstand me all the time, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
I work so hard to be understood. But anyway, that's neither here
Yeah.
nor that's neither here nor there. Because I've also learned that people hear what they want to hear, and sometimes you just can't change it. I could say the same thing
Yeah.
plainly, as straightforward as whatever, and certain people would just add something to it. I'd be like, that's not what I said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because
communication
people
is
don't
a
want to
big
hear.
yeah,
Yeah, they don't
yeah,
want to hear what you have to say. They want you to say what they planned for you to say so they can react the way that they planned out.
that part. That part. Wow. So you're an 11-time published author. What has been published? Like, what are some of the topics that you've touched on in your books?
Okay. I think everything um includes faith. Um, and I say that because right now, with my business and my life, I represent faith, hope, love, and leadership. And so, my first novel is a 300-page novel called This Love, His Love. And that's about finding love God's way. But it's a lot
Mm,
of drama in there. It's a lot. It's actually 85, it's written in fiction form, but 85% of that book is real life situations, conversations, all of that. But it's just written in fiction form. And then I have a book called The ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny, which is based on it's really leadership. It's really the basis for my entire company.
mm,
It's in an essay form from A to Z. So I cover topics such as accountability, trust, learning, knowledge, understanding, things like that, all the way from A to Z of the eight literal ABCs to stalk your destiny in my company. I have a book called Permeate, and Permeate is from my first year of teaching Tea Time with Tara. And so the story behind that is when I started Tea Time with Tara, the community group, I started it only weeks before we filed for divorce. And
mm.
so tried that whole first year. I didn't have the confidence to actually lead the group, but I would read what I wrote to teach. I would write it out and then I would read it in the group and cry through it. And so later God told me, like that's a book. And so that's where Permeate came from. It's rants and lessons on life and love. Um, I have a book called Until and Then Again, Chronicles of a Narcissist Wife. And that is a real chronicle the first from me and my ex-husband starting to be together to the day we divorced, and I think it's a summary like after that. And so that deals with, people talk about narcissism and narcissists and things like that, but you don't really get to hear what you feel like being in that particular type of relationship. And
Ooh.
so it's not about shaming him, and most of it I don't really say what he's doing. It talks about me. It's literally the notes I kept while I was married. So that's all true. It's not fiction at all. And that's, what I went through being in that situation, how I tried to talk myself out of things and I literally like took me out of the whole picture. I wrote me
Mm,
away. And so that book kind of covers that, the inside, of a narcissistic relationship. If you remove the other people, in the world just saying, oh, this was abusive and that was abusive and he was crazy. And no, but how did you feel? That's
right.
what that for me, it showed me how I felt, and it showed me my delusion as well in trying to make it work, in trying to stay, and trying to take on the issues as if it was me. And so that's that. And then I have a devotional series, and the devotional series is a 12-book series, but so far only 6 of those books are out. I am currently working on the other 6, but I don't know when I'll publish them because I randomly publish just, oh, I feel like publishing books today, and I'll go ahead and publish. But so 6 of those are monthly devotionals, mostly for fasting or just if you want to focus on a particular topic. Some of those topics are like faith, fulfillment, um, courage, gosh, encouragement. I don't know. It's 6 of them out. 6 of them out. Oh, new beginnings is one of them. And so that is just about, it's interactive, and the ABCs to Start Your Destiny is interactive as well because everything that I do is about provoking thought. And so at the end of the ABCs to Start Your Destiny, at each one of those essays are 2 thought-provoking questions. And so in
Hmm.
the Earthly Branches series, that is you read it daily. You read it daily, but every week you read the scripture focus, and then you have a something to think about each day, and then you have a question, to answer, and a space to journal in there every day as well. Because for me, it's important to get people to understand that having knowledge means nothing if you don't apply it, and if you don't know where or how to apply it, then I'm leading you, to darkness. And so that's why I'm giving them information, I'm asking and provoking thought, and then I'm giving you the space to be free in your own thinking as well. So I think that's pretty
Nice.
much.
That is so dope. Oh my goodness, that is so dope. And that being in a relationship with a narcissist, that hit a man, that hit a nerve. That hit a
Yeah.
nerve. Because people don't really understand, like, it's really damaging to a person's psyche or whatever. Like, you really have to recover from that type of relationship. It's not
Oh
just oh
yeah.
well, it didn't work out. Like, you have to recover. Like, I
Yeah.
personally, I got PTSD from it.
I
uh
did too.
I got PTSD. I don't think I don't want to date nobody. I don't want to get that close to nobody. Like, I got PTSD. I might need to read one of your books.
Yeah, I mean, it takes healing. Don't get me wrong. I am 7 years removed from the marriage, and he divorced me. I wasn't leaving. He divorced me, and so I'm 7 years removed from the marriage. But this was the first year that I said I feel like myself again. And I
Mm,
started getting, and I did lose my identity in that marriage, which is why my company focuses on identity, direction, and accountability because I was lost. I didn't know who I was, I didn't know where I was going, or how I was going to get there. So those are
mm,
questions that I asked God about in the marriage, and that's when I started my company to help others as well. And so I lost my identity in the marriage. And I mean, honestly, if y'all, if you would have met me 7 years ago, we wouldn't have had a conversation. Probably not. My light wasn't bright then. And
mm,
even though people still gravitated towards me and I still did my community stuff, I was not me. I was depressed. I was all kind of things. Hurting. And so being removed from that, it definitely takes time to pick up the pieces because when you're going through an identity crisis, which is what that causes, when you're going through an identity crisis, you try to go back and pick up who you used to be, when in actuality, you everything you want to become, you already are. So everything you need to be to go forward is already in you. You know, you don't have to go back and pick up pieces. And I tried to go pick up who I used to be, and that didn't work. And then you have to start embracing the new you for the next level in life, you know. And so maybe today, you're not ready to, focus on a relationship or anything like that. But over time, with therapy, and help, you start to breathe again and notice that it's okay to be free, and it's okay to be free in love. It's okay to give
Mm.
love freely. And that was something too. I had to stop reacting and behaving with my ex-husband in the way that he was treating me. I had to get back to being me, and I feel like I am God's example of love in the earth. And so I had to find that again and own it, and now I I refuse not to give love to people. So
Mm.
that shines bright in me.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me bring it back. Let me bring it back. Okay. So the planners for more
Mhm.
accountability. You have 12 planners. Are they like based on different things to hold yourself accountable for? Like explain that a little bit.
Okay, so planners right now are really popular with people, I feel like it's popular because of the fluff. We have social media, we have vanity, we have everything's got to be cute and fun. And so what I noticed was taking a back seat is planners that are focused on you getting your goals reached, planners that are really focused on you, on business. And so what happened is, we're always grabbing paper to make a list, a things to do list, where we always need a calendar. We always need to look at those different things and see, what do I have to do, what do I have going on. And so as a coach, I started with a monthly planner, and in that planner was just like, it was a daily inspiration quote, which was just saying like, today is a great day or something like that. There was a space to write a daily affirmation because I noticed that people needed to encourage themselves, you know and then there was time blocking, because and most people still don't talk about time blocking. And so with time blocking, it's really just understanding that you can take control of your day if you place one thing per hour. Even if you can do three things in 1 hour, if you place one thing per hour, then you can get more done and feel you psychologically feel better about achieving more than instead of less, because you overfilled yourself. And
Right.
so those planners and accountability tools are really just for different minds, of people. So I have like a weekly agenda, which is the time blocking, but it's just time blocking for the entire year. That's a planner. I have multiple monthly planners because they're different. It's like a business monthly planner. Excuse me, it's a student monthly planner, and it's the regular monthly planner as well. And then there is the yearly planner. There is a calendar book. There is a journal called Revealed Journal. It's just a notebook with
Mm.
like a scripture or something at the top. And the scriptures are really in there not to challenge anybody's religious preferences, but most proverbs and things are used for business leadership. And so the scriptures that I chose are for mindset or matters of the heart as well, to encourage people in that. And that's called Revealed. So it is about your time with God, or your time, with yourself, like revealing to you
Right.
what's going on with you, as well. And so yeah, it's 12 different ones, and I think they all fall under what I listed.
That's dope because I am have to write things out type of person. Like I have to write out my to-do list. I
Yeah,
I create a shopping list before I go grocery
yeah,
shopping. I have my budget book where I plan out
yeah,
my budget for the month.
yeah,
Like that's just how I've always been. I was the kid
yeah,
with a journal, writing out my feelings in my journal and stuff like that.
yeah,
That's just how I always been. And it does something for the mind when you create a list and you checking the things off of the list. It does
yeah,
something for your mind. You feel accomplished. you like, I actually got these things done. And
Yeah.
people don't seem to see that. Like, I can't, I try, but I can't do everything digital. I might be able to do my calendar digital, because things will pop up that
Yeah.
I may forget about. I need that pop up because I might not look in the book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For my calendar for that week. I
Yeah.
might not look in a book, but it's gonna send me a reminder. I got every event that I have got several reminders during the week.
Yeah, yeah, and see, and the thing with writing things down, because like I also have a financial planner, a monthly financial planner, and then even with the things to do list, from the things to do list, I created another planner to go with that, and that's the things to do list and when to do them, because when we purge our minds, which I encourage everybody to do a mind purge, and that's just writing out everything that's on your mind, even if it makes sense or not, or whatever. But when we do the mind purge and everything, it's important that we go back weekly, to look at what it is we wrote down. Even if we just journal, and you're like, oh, I just journal every day. Well, go back once a month and just flip through it and read where you were at or what your mind was focused on, see what you left behind, or see if you moved on from those things, and nothing too deep. It's just if like I love Cat Williams, and he always says, get in tune with your star player. Well, if you just writing your thoughts down and leaving you alone, how good are you in your relationship with yourself? And
Mm.
everybody talks about self-love, and self-love is fine, but it's also about growing as self. It's about acknowledging what you feel and doing something about it, not just when you're angry, but just your own thoughts, your heart posture, and things like that. So, and even millionaires always talk about writing things down. You got to write it, see it, visualize it, all of those things. So it just helps us to I love to tell my clients and stuff, like, when your mind is clear and your heart is clear, you can just do so much more and do it much more efficiently, because you're
Hmm.
trying to figure out what was this, what was that, what was this, what was that. With me and dissociation, well, I don't remember a lot of stuff. I'd be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I don't remember, or I'm surprised, like, oh, I said that, or whatever, and there might be something that was helpful to somebody, and I'm like, okay, great, I'm so glad I helped you, or
Right.
whatever. I might not remember it, but I can guarantee you I probably wrote it down. You know?
Mm.
And if I wrote it down, then I can put my hands on it. I can I can touch it. It's mine. My thoughts become real when I write them down. I can see it and I can express it to someone else. So it can go
Yes.
forward.
Yes. Shout out to Derek Mosby. He said, "What's up, y'all?" He just
Eric,
chimed in on the chat.
it's just me now. Hey y'all. Keep the conversation going, y'all.
I
Keep putting back
would, I
on.
would never leave you here by yourself. So, as you're coming back on here, oh, and she's back. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Every time I go to look at the chat, I get disconnected. I'm not doing that no more.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm like, keep it coming in the chat, y'all.
Keep speaking in the chat. When it pops up, I'ma address it then. I
Yeah.
went to the chat to look to see if there was anything that I might have missed, and that's when
Yeah.
I got disconnected. So I'm not doing that no more.
Yeah.
When it pops up, I'ma address it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's dope. And planners are a big thing. Um, um, I know somebody, it's Lux Digital Note, and they have like a planner for your iPad for you digital folks out there that like the digital
Yeah.
planner. They have like a digital planner, and her planner's cool, and I'm trying to learn it. I'm trying to learn it and get the feel for it. But planners are a big thing, and I think because entrepreneurship has boomed so much in the past few years,
Mhm.
you need a planner or at least a notebook. Like, you
Yeah.
need to write these things down. Everything can't stay in your head. You gonna lose it, you gonna forget, something gonna fall to the wayside. Everything can't stay in your head. You gotta write these things down, write your goals down. I've learned that once I started doing New Year's Eve, me and my kids started doing vision boards. And I noticed that
Okay.
once we started doing that, like things started coming to fruition that was on the vision board.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I do vision boards. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't do vision boards. I create my plans for the following year, August of the year before.
Mm, yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's all vision boards are, is just creating a plan. We
Yeah.
just put it in a form where we could see it every day. Cause like I had mines on my wall, and the last one that I did is like I wanted to travel with my music more. And then that year I went on like 4 tours. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And it was just like wow. And then I wanted to start my business, and that was on the vision board, and that's how I came up with Pink Fire Beauty and all that stuff. So it's definitely good to, like you said, visualize, and then when you write things down, it actually helps you remember it as well. The
Yeah.
writing down, it'll help you remember it. So if you writing it down, if you looking at it, like all of these is like different ways of manifestation or prayer or you know
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. So let's talk more about Stalk Your Destiny. What is Stalk Your Destiny like in a whole about? Because it's a dope title. I love
That's the
I love the
coaching.
title.
So actually, you know what? Let me say it like I need to say it. Yes, y'all, my name is Tara M. Williams and I am a stalker. Okay. And I am a stalker because stalkers, as we know it, get a very bad rep because they go after things that don't belong to them. But the one thing in life that we can all agree we give up on the most is our goals, our dreams, and our destiny. And so that's where Stalk Your Destiny came into place because um, we should be relentless in pursuit of our goals and our dreams and our purpose because that belongs to us. That life belongs to us. That identity belongs to us. And so that's the one thing we shouldn't give up on. So that's the coaching with the planners and the coaching. And that's where the identity, direction, and accountability came from. That's a podcast as well, too. So that's a
Nice. I definitely like the title. That's a Stalk Your Destiny. I was like, that is so dope. You see things, you be like, dang, I wish I thought of it first.
Yes. Yep.
It's definitely a dope title.
Thank you.
So that with the tea time with Tara, what's the tea time about?
So tea time with Tara started when I was married. Um, like you mentioned, I have three sons, but they are stair steps, so I had them back to back to back. And so in that marriage, it was not a good marriage, and so my days were rough. And so if I had 5 minutes a day to have a cup of tea, like put a cup of water in the microwave for 3 minutes, run and take a shower, and then drink the tea while it's scalding hot, then it was a great day. If I had 5 minutes to do that, it was a great day. And
Mm,
so that 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes. And in that time, I would take the shower, put the tea in the microwave, let it cool a little bit more, be a little bit longer in the shower. But then I would go on Instagram at the time and I would put some encouraging message up daily. And I would do that because I needed the encouragement, but I figured the world did too. And so it was 15 minutes a day. And God told me that, that was my time with him. And so I'm like, okay, this is tea time with, at first I thought it was always tea time with God or whatever, but it wasn't. It was tea time with Tara, but it was my time with God.
mm.
And then that grew to being an hour long of time. And then it grew to being, I think, about 3 hours of time. Now it's just a lifestyle. And um, so in essence, Tea Time with Tara, the community group, started in private in 2014. and started in public in 2016. And so in public, it was business and Bible basics is what we focused on, and just helping people to heal, to go forward, to know they're not alone. And so, yeah, we've been
Wow.
doing that since 2016. And then it turned into a show. I started my Tea Time with Tara show. Oh, I'm sorry. Then it was a segment on the radio. Um, in 2020 to 2021, I had the Tea Time with Tara show on air, with the Mixed Morning Madness crew in St. Louis. And then I started my show production January of last year. So we're in season 2 of the Tea Time with Tara show on YouTube now this year.
Nice, nice. Yes, I definitely got to tap into that and get with that. So you mentioned you from St. Louis and
Hmm.
you're here in Atlanta now. Like, what brought on this transition? What brought you to the A?
Oh, it's so funny that everything with me goes back to God. But it's intentional. So God gave me a countdown, and He gave me a 1 year countdown and was like, start packing, and I'll tell you where you're going in 6 months. So in October of last year, God revealed to me that I was moving to Atlanta. I did not know where in Atlanta. I had only been here 3 times before, and then I came one time this year for a baby shower. And so I just been packing, 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 and God said that's where I'm going. So that's why I prepared to go. And now I'm here. It was literally just following God, following His plan and His direction. And so in St. Louis, I was not prosperous with my company. I would say I was very popular and poor. And I would say it like that because where I lived in St. Louis, I called it Poverty USA. And a lot of people know me in St. Louis, but a lot of people did not buy in, to what I was doing,
Mm,
what I had going on. I wasn't getting a lot of opportunities to speak um, at all, not just speak for pay, but I wasn't getting a lot of opportunities to speak, And so I'm here in Atlanta to serve. I know that I'm here to serve, I'm here to change lives. And that's one of the things I always say as well is that I wake up daily to change lives. So I'm here to
mm.
get some people to stalk their destiny, and to heal and go forward in their purpose.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And people need to know, like, sometimes you just have to listen. Just listen. Just be in a quiet space and just listen. And you never know what will come to you. That is so dope that you just like was like, I'm just gonna pack.
Yeah,
God said pack, I'm just gonna pack. You
yeah,
listen and look. You made it here, you know? You made it here. There's gonna be great things coming your way. Like I could feel it just hearing you speak and the passion that you have about what you're doing is amazing. Like I'm
amen.
in awe. I'm in awe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Seriously, seriously. Cause like when I first started Pink Fire, it was like a woman's empowerment group or
Mm.
whatever, because like I was coming across a lot of women that said that they don't have female friends because
Oh,
females are catty and they're this and they're that and they don't have female friends. And at the time I had my 5 core girlfriends from high school,
uh-huh.
and we was like rocking hard body. Shout out to Carmen, Dawn, Rosetta, Ebony, and Fee. One of them passed. Fee
Okay.
has passed on, but and so like that kind of like we just kind of like went our different ways a little bit, but
Yeah.
we still there and we had just this camaraderie that people used to be like, I've never seen nothing like this before. So I wanted to like share that with other women who felt like they didn't have
Yeah.
anybody,
Yeah.
and that's why I like what you do. you know like I was saying when you had dropped off, I was saying people have to speak about what they go through and what they do. in order for somebody else to feel like they're not alone.
Yeah.
And if we don't speak on these things, then people are going to feel like they're alone, and things, that's how things get crazy. There's no support for each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's so dope. Like you do with your books and your planning and your tea time and stalk your destiny. You doing what I do with music, because I
Yeah.
sing about things that I go through. So like we're doing the same thing,
Are
you
you
know?
okay?
And huh?
It's bringing up a lot of emotion in you, huh?
Yes, and so it's like that's how I get things out. And
Yeah.
it always feeds my soul when somebody says, yo, I listened to your song, You Made Me, and it helped me through my divorce. Meanwhile, I was writing that song while I was going through my divorce.
Yeah.
you know, I don't necessarily say divorce in the song, but the fact that that came through,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That came through. And I was just like, wow, you
Yeah.
know, this is it's just all the same thing, and I love it. I love the camaraderie that comes with it. I love the support that comes with it. Is it's just an amazing thing. It's just an amazing thing. And the fact that you are willing to speak about, your like depression and ADD and OC, like people don't come, especially us. We don't come out and say these things.
Yeah.
We don't come out
Yeah.
and say these things. And I think that it's so important that we do. It's so important that we do. Because then somebody can look at you and be like, okay, she suffered from depression. She ADD, this and other. She was still able to accomplish all these things. Why can't
Yeah.
I?
We definitely, can go, turn your pain into purpose. It's always purpose in our pain, and in our trials, there's always a story of triumph, triumph as well. And so, yeah, I own my labels. I advocate for mental health, so I own my labels because that's where your brilliance is as well. You know, and that's where your difference is. And people don't want to be different, but everybody wants to be special in some kind of way. And it's like, dude, you are special, and you are, but you just gotta own who you are, and stop putting on for the world, and put on for you. So I don't have anything because like I said, the world I have the song playing in my head over and over. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. And,
Mm,
with all the self love, trends and things, we still lack true love of self and true embrace of self. And the only way to get it is for us to be transparent and authentic. And that's where I stand.
right, right. And I think we spend so much time in life trying to be accepted, and but we don't accept ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we want the world to accept us, but we do not accept ourselves.
Yeah.
We do not
We're
take
not
care of ourselves. Social media is a double-edged sword to me, because like it brings a lot of things out, and I think through that avenue a lot of people are realizing now that they're not alone as
mhm.
well, because social media brings all these things out and puts a name on it,
Yeah.
and things like that. On the other hand, you got the other people that will like troll you for it, for
Yeah.
whatever, and this that, and the other. But I still think there's some empowerment in it if you just push aside the people who's going to have something negative to say, because some people just say negative things just so that they could get likes and views.
Right.
They want
Yeah.
to play devil's advocate just to get likes and views. If you could look past those things, it could be a huge tool, you know?
Right.
It could be a huge tool if you just look past those things. Um, wow, wow. This is way more than what I thought that it was gonna be. Like, you are really like, I love your where your mind is at, your mind frame. I can't say enough about it. I can't say enough about it. Um, so with the helping men, like, where do you see Tea Time with Tara and Stalking Your Destiny? Like, where do you see it going now that you're in new places, new spaces?
Oh, it's going where it's intended to go. It's going where the goals say. So here in Atlanta, I don't, it's not like I have a particular goal in mind just for this town. I just have particular goals in mind for the businesses, And so with Tea Time with Tara, I expect I'm actually kind of curious to if it's going to be on the air again on radio. Um, I just connected with some people down here that are in radio. I also hope that the show goes from YouTube to being on a national uh, channel or station. That it gets picked up, and becomes an actual talk show on television. For Stalk Your Destiny, right now, like I said, we're although I'm changing focus a little bit from identity, direction, and accountability, it's still the same in terms of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Same thing. And so my hope with that is just really to like with the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. That is an independent study course. It's not just a book. It's an independent study course for adults, and it's also something I utilize for leadership with young people. I am currently working on the ABCs to Start Your Destiny Youth Activity book for 11 and under.
Mm,
But the other book is for 11 and up, all the way to adults. And so, my hope is just to go into the schools and change lives. Partner with banks and change lives as well. So it's a
so
lot more, but that's all I can share, I guess, on air.
right, right, right. Wow. Well, I mean, this is airing not only on YouTube but also on bfam.com. So, you could talk with DC.
Okay. Hey y'all, what up, B fam?
Yes, you could talk with DC. We in 79 different countries, and
Yeah.
you just never know. You just never know. Um, wow. So as far as like with the men's support or whatever, like how are you initiating that, especially, well, I mean the month is almost over, but men need support all year round. So
hmm
like how are you initiating that part um to get more support to like our fellas out there?
What I've always done in terms of men is just made it clear that I am not, first of all, I'm not a fluff lady. I'm not a fluff girl. Um, if you see me dressed up and all of that stuff, I did the least I could do. Because I'm just not, I'm not a fluff girl. I'm not so much about presentation as I am about what you feel, and how I make you feel. My presence makes you feel. And so I've always been there for men. And that started with me getting healing from childhood trauma SA. Okay. And so, and I say SA because I don't know if you'll get banned or anything, and I don't want you to. So with childhood trauma and SA, with that, when I started going to therapy for that, the group therapy, members wanted to like just say, we had a question going around like, do you love your uh predator, basically, right? And when it got to me, I was the only person that said, yes, I love my predator. Number one, it wasn't a stranger. And number
Mm,
two, I love that person enough to want them to get help as well. And most times we want to
Mhm.
crucify the people that do the wrong things. And I'm not saying don't punish anybody. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying that in the process of punishment, there needs to be um, a process where they are treated like humans as well. And that, in turn, because we can't fix this system of things happening if we're not fixing the people that's doing the problem. Simply
Right.
punishing them is not correcting the system or the behavior. It's not correcting the cycle. So I started there with saying, like, I love my abuser, and I love my abuser enough to want my abuser to get help, to, be treated like I'm treated, and can go into a group and say, I did these wrong things and I want to change. We don't have that space. We're so quick to just crucify alone versus correct in love as well. And so that for me made me stand in the gap with men. And then I have like the Stalk Your Destiny Men's Conference. I had that in 2020. And I just wanted to encourage them, like, stalk your destiny. Again, women have so many events and things and men don't, especially events hosted by Black women. And I wanted to be that. I wanted to do that. And then with Tea Time with Tara, we used to have it where the men met by themselves, the women met by themselves, and then we had an open conversation together. And when either group met by themselves, the other gender could come in, but they couldn't speak unless they got permission to at the end of the group.
Mhm.
And by doing that, you're able to sit in a session where it's just men talking and you get to listen. Or the men get to sit in a session where it's just women talking and they get to listen. And then the open conversation was at a different date and time. And we were able to speak to each other. And I don't do battle of the sexes. So if we're not speaking to each other, we're definitely not going to sit here and speak at each other.
I know that's right. I know that's right. You know what? Let people know where they could follow you, where they could pick up a planner, pick up a book, just let them know everything so that they could support you.
Okay. You guys can go to my website. It's www.stalkyourdestiny.com. That's StalkYourdestiny.com. And you can follow me on Instagram at Stalk Your Destiny Official, or on Facebook at Stalk Your Destiny with Tarah M. Williams. If you go to YouTube, you can search Stalk Your Destiny, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel there. And that's where you can see the old episodes of the Tea Time with Tara show, as well as the upcoming shows for that. So that's the gist of it, I believe. My books and planners are on my website. My Stalk Your Destiny podcast is on my website as well.
Yes, yes. Everybody, please, please run, don't walk, run to your computers and support this beautiful queen. She is out here putting herself on the line to help others, putting her stuff on the forefront to help other people. And that is just amazing. If you have trouble with multitasking, get a planner. I'm telling you, it
Yeah.
works. It works. Even if it, I can't speak enough about it because even if I don't have an official planner, I have a notebook. I have something. I have something. You have to write these things down and stay on top of it. So, all you independent artists out there, get a planner. Get your stuff in order. Get your stuff in line. Get your to-do list so you don't get lost in the sauce because everybody be coming at you and you'll get caught up and not get what you need to get done. Big advocate for the planners. Big advocate for um the tea time talks like this. I love what you're doing. I love what you're
Thank
doing.
you.
You have my support all the way. You need me to come and do something. You need me to, hand out food at an event. Like, I got
Hey,
you.
I'll let you know. I got a food and tea company too, so I will let you know. And thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. We can definitely collaborate on some things.
Yeah.
We gonna definitely talk. But It is the end of the show, y'all. Thanks for tapping in. We Had to Do It podcast. It's your girl Dre and Nicole. You can follow me on Had to Do It podcast on Instagram. We have the Facebook group. We have the YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Also, you can follow me at Dre and Nicole NYC. That is my music page. Everything else. And I have a new business venture coming up, so look out for that. But you can follow Pink Fire Beauty and Pink Fire Body for updates on that as well. And like I say every week, desire to inspire before you expire. And this is what we are here doing. Thanks for tuning in. And motherfuckers, we out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, we're still live.